Hi guys, Megan here, the Healing Foods Coach. I hope you're all doing well on this Saturday, the 15th of March. I'm actually fighting a bit of a laryngitis type of a viral infection, so please forgive me if my voice goes in a little bit. But I wanted to share with you guys, I wanted to make sure to keep you up to date because you guys have been so supportive and I super appreciate that. So today's topic is carnivore without the judgment. Now, this can apply to anything. You could be keto, ketovore, on the lion diet, which is a form of the carnivore diet, obviously. Low carb, maybe you're paleo, maybe you're somewhere in that spectrum as well, without the judgment. And I'm saying that not only to please avoid judging yourself harshly, but let's work together to not judge others. You know, it's so easy in this space. We can be super supportive, and there's some great people out there with such great channels. You know, there's Juliet's Autism Experience. She is a carnivore. Her autistic kids are carnivores. She is absolutely, by the way, if you haven't checked her out, she's amazing. You definitely got to check out her channel. She's super, super cool. And then we've got Carnivore Muscle, who also happens to have autism, and also a fantastic guy. Has so much great content to share. You do have to check him out, please. You know, there are some super supportive, accepting people in this space. I'm talking people like Kelly Hogan and No Carb Life, and I'm talking about Bart Kay and others. And you know what? There's some such great people in this carnivore space, and it's amazing. And we can learn from each other. We can be supportive of each other, and it's fantastic. But I also know that there are people out there in the space who can be very hardcore, hard-lined, and judgmental of others if they aren't as super committed as they are. So let me just say this. You do not have to only eat steak and drink water to be carnivore, okay? If you decide to do that, you know, some people do. They have such a high histamine response that they have to, and I think that's actually what Michaela Peterson had to do for a while. But that does not mean that you have to. It also doesn't mean you have to even eat red meat. You can have sausages. If all you want to eat is like bacon and sausages and other pork products, maybe eggs, butter, do that. You do not have to eat, if you don't like pork products, try poultry, chicken, turkey, duck. Maybe you don't like poultry. Maybe you're not sure about pork products, but you like eggs. Eat eggs. You can eat red meat if you choose, and it does not have to be steak, and it doesn't have to be lamb. It can be things like ground beef, right? Or bison. It could be whatever you get in your part of the world. It doesn't have to be a set prescribed thing. If you can get steak and it's cheap and you enjoy it, go right ahead. You don't have to eat only, so what was I saying? You don't have to eat just red meat, nor do you have to only eat poultry, but you can. If all you want to eat is chicken and eggs and butter, go for it. If you don't like any of that, but you love fish and seafood and you would rather eat that all the time, do that, right? You might want to include some low-carb vegetables. And if you can tolerate them, by all means, if you want to include a little spinach or broccoli, go for it. If you are able to tolerate some garlic or onion or tomato, please feel free to include that in your diet. Whatever's going to help you stay away from the garbage and the processed crap and stay on a healthier eating style of a healthier way of eating, do that. You may be someone who is okay with dairy and you want to include some plain, full-fat Greek-style yogurt. By all means, feel free to do that if you should so choose. You might want to get plain Greek yogurt with berries. Maybe that's something you have at breakfast time along with, I don't know, sausage and eggs, whatever works for you. But my point in saying all of that is there are so many different ways to be carnivore. And by the way, People who are carnivore can still include some seasonings and sauces. They may still include some vegetables and low-carb fruit. They may include regular coffee or tea. Let's not judge them if they do. They are still eating overall an incredibly healthy, good human diet, which is the whole point, right? Let's not start picking fights with each other over who's a more committed or hardcore carnivore. That seems to me a waste of time. More importantly, we should be looking to support each other however we choose to eat, and let's work on getting the processed chips and cheesies and or Cheetos and chocolate bars and candies and cakes, all the sweets, all the stuff with trans fats, all the stuff that's made in a factory and put in a shelf life long packaging. Let's work together to get rid more of that stuff instead of fighting amongst ourselves. Just a thought, right? And let's not hold judgment. I drink decaf 2 or 3 cups a day generally. That's only because I don't tolerate the caffeine in a regular coffee. If it was up to me, I would drink regular coffee because I like it. Now, have been off caffeine for 8 months, and I probably won't ever go back because I finally have a good sleep pattern. But I know lots of people who drink coffee. It doesn't really seem to affect them. And outside of that, they generally eat a pretty good, healthy diet, like lots of good sources of animal fats and protein with occasional bits of low-carb fruit and veg, maybe some dairy thrown in here and there. And that's okay. I'm saying that, guys, because if you're like me, when you started the daunting task of having to get rid of absolutely everything all at once, that was a lot. It makes a lot of people think I could never do this because maybe I can give up my bread rolls and my rice, but you're telling me I have to give up coffee if I want to be carnivore? I can't do that. And no, you don't. I would simply say this. If you discover in this journey, whether you are trying to simply be more low carb, whether you are trying to be more keto, or whether you are trying to follow a much more carnivore type of diet, is this. Make sure it's working for you. Don't do it just because everyone else is doing it, but make sure it's what's working for you. You know what I mean? Like, there are people out there who are feeling incredibly healthy and happy and have so much better health improvements just by lowering the carbohydrates they eat. They may not be fully keto and they wouldn't call themselves carnivore, but they've reduced their carb intake enough that they're seeing improvements. And if that works for them, that's amazing. It's still better than all the loaded processed crap that we would have normally eaten, right? There's room for, I think, all of us in this space of finding a good and proper human diet. Let's make sure that we are helping each other, supporting each other, instead of maybe finding ways that we can point out how, oh, well, that person isn't really carnivore because they put barbecue sauce on their burger patty. Or, oh, they had a cappuccino today, so that's regular coffee and that's milk. No room for that in this space. I don't think there should be anyways. That's just me. But we judge ourselves enough as it is. We don't, without feeling the judgment of others. So I guess that's it. Kind of a message and a plea, if you will. Let's be supportive and let's try to be a lot more welcoming than perhaps we might have been otherwise. Now, you guys are amazing because you guys are welcoming and supportive. So I'm not talking about you guys who have subscribed. Definitely not. But just something to think about. Let's make sure we're not passing judgment on other people based on what we understand a certain diet should be. There are certain things we definitely should avoid, right? Excessive alcohol, too much refined sugar, seed oils, factory-produced foods. We can all agree on that, I think. Let's start with that. Let's start with that and see what we have more in common and things we can be supportive about, and less about judging somebody because, yes, they've given up carbs, they feel great, but they still want to have regular coffee. Seems kind of silly to me. What do I know? Anyways, guys, just as a quick reminder, I still have some coaching slots available on weekends if you are at all interested. I do have a current discount running just until the end of March. If you are interested, please go ahead. You can either check out my website, www.healingfoodscoach.com, or you can shoot me an email directly at Meghan, Meghan, at healingfoodscoach.com. Also, just to make you guys aware, so Sunday last week, I actually had a really great catch up and chat with my good friend Rose AJ Coates. She's got a really great YouTube channel herself, and we just had a couple of discussions about being carnivore plus a little bit more, and those will be coming out soon. So keep your eyes open. That'll be up on her channel, but as I say, she has really great content, so she's definitely worth watching as well. That is it for today. Thank you guys, as always, for your incredible and amazing support. It truly does mean everything to me. I wish you all the best for the week ahead. Feel free to please leave comments. I do read the comments from down below. And I may not respond to them immediately just because I work full time, but I will always reply to any comments you leave behind. That's it for now. All the best, guys. Hopefully your week ahead is a good one, and I will see you next time in the next video.